Okay, UFC Fight Night 116. That shit was great. I only got to catch the last 3 fights, but I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of the highlights and shit. But I mean, when I started watching it on the Hector Lombard fight, they were saying that there was knockouts up until that fight. So I was like, hell yeah, man. I mean, I was chilling with my girl, so I was missing it all. But I started watching at the Hector Lombard fight on. So that's all I'm gonna talk about. So let's start with that one. Hector Lombard versus, and you know what, man? I can't even think of his fucking name, and it's crazy because he was asking Hector Lombard, "Do you know my name now? What's my name?" Like he was in it. He was talking hella shit. He was pumped. They played the sound effects, not the sound effects, but the audio of him talking in the octagon. And he was talking shit to Lombard because Lombard said before the fight he didn't know the guy's name, and that's why I'm saying it's ironic now, but because I don't even know the dude's fucking name, and I'm driving and I have no service, and I tried to look that shit up, man, to see his name because I didn't want to forget it, but I'll put it on the title. Yeah, I just want to talk about the fight, so I mean, fuck it, so let's go. Okay, that fight was crazy, man. It was good for real. It looked like Hector Lombard was, he looked powerful, man. He looked strong. He was going at the other dude all night. Dude was trying to use his range. Lombard was chewing that front leg up, though. And the other dude was like, it just took him a minute to get started, it looked like, man. And I feel like I'm disrespecting the fuck out of him for not saying his name, but I literally just can't look it up right now, and I want to go ahead and talk about the fight, so. But, man, it was a great fight. They went back and forth. Lombard was catching him with some shit in the first and second rounds because he was basically going out there throwing heavy hands, trying to close that distance, and that's what he knew he had to do. He was chewing that leg up too, so other dude wasn't as agile. But fucking in the third round, dude caught Lombard with man, what he catching with? He caught him with some hands, and it was a straight right that put him down, and Lombard was kind of. He wasn't really moving towards the punch, but it was one of those where he was moving towards the punch enough to where that shit was like a head-on collision, and it sent him down. He put a couple ground and pound. He dropped a couple bombs on him, and then they finished it right there. Lombard was done. It was a good fight, man. It was entertaining as hell. Good interview from the dude after the fight, and yeah, I look forward to seeing that dude fight some more, man, because he's got a lot of fights. He's got some experience. But like, my bad, guys. I'm just trying to look at my GPS to see where the fuck I'm driving, coming from the beach. But yeah, he's got some fights, and he's saying he needs to get to where he's more explosive in the earlier rounds without those holes. You know, he said he had to fix some holes in his game. So, you know, I'm excited to see what the dude's gonna do. So, yeah, man. Okay, next fight. We had Mike Perry facing Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes stepped in on, I think I'm saying that dude's name right. Is it Reyes? But he stepped in, fucking like 2-3 days notice, coming from another organization, first fight in the UFC. Mike Perry did what the fuck Mike Perry was supposed to do. He took him out. Dude was Alex Reyes was throwing hella shit at Mike Perry. I mean, it's not even that he was throwing hella shit for real. He was just able to dip and dodge Mike Perry's bombs that he was slinging at him, because Mike Perry came out throwing wild, honestly, and he was trying to get that right hand. You could tell what he wanted to do. You know what Mike Perry wants to do. But it was in the clinch, I believe, where Mike Perry hit him with the elbow. I believe that's what happened. He hit him with the elbow, and then Alex Reyes was bent over, and Perry just made his fucking kneecap meet that dude right in the face, and he was down. You know, and he finished him off, and I was into that fight, man. Entertaining as fuck. Mike Perry had that he had that mohawk. He had that fucking mohawk, and his wife was up there with her blonde ass hair, man. That's so crazy. That's awesome right there. Him and his wife fighting. She's helping him through his fights. That's crazy. But yeah, man, great fight. Mike Perry did what he's supposed to do. He put on that show, and he was doing some dancing shit, man, after the fight, and it was funny as hell to watch. But yeah, great fight. Next fight we had, Luke Rockhold versus David Branch. And man, in that first round, let me tell you, dude, I was kind of scared for Luke because I want Luke to win. There's no way he should have lost. There's no way he should have got knocked out by Bisping. I think everybody knows that Luke came out fucking cocky as hell, like a dumbass. But yeah, man, he lost that fight. So I wanted to see him come back up, man. I'm trying to see him get back to where he was. And David Branch was putting it on his ass in the first round, man. That's what I was saying. You can look on my website, tkodaily.com. I was talking about that shit. I said, don't sleep on David Branch because he's coming. And when he started, he was throwing shit at Luke, and there was a lot of clinching in the fight, but they were throwing hands. David Branch was throwing most of the hands. Luke was trying to get him with that left body kick, which was what, was expected. Fucking Branch caught Luke right in the chin a couple times, man, and Luke had to clinch him, and he had to grab onto him. And once he hit Luke, man, I was like, fuck, man, it's over. Because you saw how Bisping just barely caught him with that left hook on the chin, and he was done, man, for real. And so when he got hit by David Branch, I was like, oh shit, here we go. It's finna be bad for Luke. But he clinched him. He gathered his senses. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, guys. I'm just fucking doing a lot of things at once. I'm driving, talking, thinking about other shit too, so my fault. But yeah, man, he clinched him. He came back in the second round. They were clinching a lot in the second round. Luke wrapped him up, took him down, got a full mount right as he took him down, basically. And then, took his back, and it was pretty much over from the time he had full mount, because that's when he just started dropping shit on him. Branch rolled over, gave him his back, and man, he literally tapped out the punches from Luke. Luke was just pounding his ass, and there was nothing he could do. So, I mean, there's nothing the referee can do either at that point but stop the fucking fight. That's what happened, man. That shit was entertaining. I don't know what Luke's gonna do now. I don't know. Oh, Mike Perry called out Robbie Lawler, man. That's just crazy. I would love to see that. I don't think Robbie Lawler needs to be fighting anybody like, higher ranks like a Stephen Thompson or Damian Maia, or fucking who else is there in that division? Damian Maia and goddamn Jorge Masvidal. Yeah, he doesn't need to be fight. I don't see him needing to be fighting any of those dudes, especially after the way he beat Cowboy. I mean, you could have gave that fight to either one. I kind of thought Robbie Lawler won that fight, but I think him and Mike Perry would be a good ass fight. I don't know who the fuck Luke's gonna fight next. Yeah, man, we'll see how that plays out. That's basically it. Y'all go ahead and subscribe, man. I fucking appreciate that shit. And yeah, just stay tuned, man. More content coming soon.